We begin with breaking news in the attack on author Salman Rushdie. Right now, investigators are searching the New Jersey home of the man accused of stabbing the author in the neck. Good evening. Thank you for joining us now at 7. I'm John Chandler. State police say 24-year-old Hadi Matar is the man who rushed a stage in western New York this afternoon where Rushdie was to speak, stabbing the author in the neck. Now investigators have converged on the suspect's home in Fairview, New Jersey. Just hours ago, New York State Police said the British-born author was undergoing surgery. We are waiting for an update on his condition. The attack happened during a lecture series at the Chautauqua Institution. That's about 55 miles southwest of Buffalo. There's no word on a motive for today's attack, but a law enforcement official with knowledge of the investigation says the suspect's social media accounts shows he is sympathetic to Shia extremism and the IRGC, an Iranian government group. Rushdie made international headlines in 1988 when Iran banned his fourth book, The Satanic Verses, and put a $3 million bounty on his head. He was forced into hiding for 9 years. Many Muslims considered the content of his writings blasphemous. Another developing story we are following, the warrant now unsealed in the search of former President Donald Trump's home. The FBI removed 11 sets of classified documents from Mar-a-Lago, including some marked as top secret. The warrant directed agents to seize all documents illegally possessed and anything in violation of 3 laws involving the mishandling of government documents. One of those, the Espionage Act, which relates to the removal of information concerning national defense. Trump and his allies have suggested that any documents in his possession had been declassified by him while he was in office. A major development tonight in an alleged cover-up of illegal conditions in the homeless shelter system and the termination of a young staffer who tried to expose it. Today, we learned the city's Department of Investigation is opening a probe. Our Melissa Russo has broken every story along the way, from the crowded conditions to the claims of retribution, and now this new investigation. Here she is with the latest.
We're always going to fulfill our moral and legal obligation. We have housed almost 5,000 thus far.
Mayor Eric Adams making the rounds on live TV this morning, but specifically not on our newscast after we broke the story that his social services commissioner, Gary Jenkins, terminated their chief spokeswoman on homelessness, Julia Savelle, after she went over his head to City Hall and complained that Jenkins had tried to hide the truth, that the city had illegally left families to sleep overnight in a Bronx intake office that is not a proper shelter. In a July 20th text to a City Hall spokeswoman, Savelle said, "I'm like livid. He's just making stuff up." The response? "Yeah, we all have to go home and wake up and sort this out." Savelle said Gary was trying to not tell City Hall that we broke the law. "I got yelled at for telling you." But Mayor Adams responded today that was not the reason Savelle was fired.
They were not fired because of their communication, and we should be clear on that.
City Hall has called the claims scandalous allegations from a low-level aide, though Savelle was a high-level deputy commissioner. And after our story aired, City Hall's story changed. The mayor's spokesman now saying Commissioner Jenkins immediately notified the deputy mayor, quickly running the news up the chain that families had slept overnight in that intake office. We've asked repeatedly why then did it take days before anyone told the mayor, the Legal Aid Society, which represents these families, or the News 4 I-team, when we figured it out almost 3 days later. Internal emails we obtained show even then the commissioner suggested sending us an untrue statement that they are meeting their legal mandate. City Hall says Commissioner Jenkins was simply unaware that leaving families overnight in the office was against the law.
It's very, very hard for me to believe that he did not understand that. And frankly, if he really legitimately did not know that, as commissioner, he should have known.
The fact that the city doesn't seem to know which way is up right now, how many people are coming in, is very disturbing to us.
Mayor Adams was asked about that on the radio this morning.
Your office has said that Jenkins didn't realize that violated the law, but your commissioner has worked in social services for more than 3 decades. Are you surprised he didn't know about this seemingly fundamental right?
No. There are many laws that we must abide by.
And Julia Savelle is not the only one on text saying Jenkins had tried not to tell City Hall. The mayor's spokeswoman responded to Savelle saying, "Yeah, I told you, he pulled me aside. And then I checked with the deputy mayor's team who told me the same." "What did he tell you?" Savelle asked. The response, "Just that it didn't happen." Those text messages were between Julia Savelle and City Hall Deputy Press Secretary Kate Smart. Couple more things. I requested an interview with Mayor Adams and was not given one. But the mayor's press secretary, Fabian Levy, issued this statement. While we have seen no public indication of an investigation, DOI is an independent agency and will decide on their own what they will or will not investigate. There was never any intention by DSS to delay communication of the issue to anyone at City Hall. A spokeswoman for the city's Department of Investigation tells me they are aware of the situation, but declined further comment. Melissa Russo, News 4, New York.
In Brooklyn tonight, an investigation after a man was found dead inside a trash compactor. This video shows the man climbing into a trash chute inside an apartment building along Gates Avenue in Bed-Stuy. Two people you see there with him at the time. He must have fallen down the chute and then was crushed by the compactor. Just horrifying. The man's body was found this morning. It is not clear what he was doing at the time. Police are now looking to question the people whom he was with. Still ahead tonight, spreading in the city. Coming up, signs that polio has made its way to New York City and the borough with the least number of people vaccinated against the virus.
It is a lovely evening for a stroll, with or without the pooch, but Lola is ready to go. Skies will clear out from these clouds that are out there right now, and the temperatures will fall through the 70s, ending up in the 60s later tonight. It's a great weekend, but showers return next week, and I'll have that in the 10-day forecast coming up.
The polio virus has now been found in New York City wastewater samples. That means the virus could likely be circulating undetected in the city. This comes after an adult tested positive in Rockland County last month. The virus was then found in Orange County wastewater. The state says 14% of children younger than 4 have not received all of their polio vaccination. And Brooklyn is the least vaccinated borough. New York City is under severe levels of drought for the first time in decades. Brooklyn and parts of the Hudson Valley as well in that category. Right now, New Jersey is calling for voluntary reductions in water usage. Janice, today was one of those days that I actually enjoyed cutting my grass. It was nice enough out there, but boy, does it need some rain.
Oh, yes, we do need it. And we'll get it next week, but not this weekend. Everybody gets to enjoy some great weather coming up. Let's take a check outside right now. We'll take you to Point Pleasant Beach, talk about the high temperatures today. Skies have cleared out there, and it was just gorgeous with readings right around average in the mid to upper 80s. Newark finally below 90 degrees at 88 today, 85 in Central Park. Right now at Point Pleasant Beach, it's 77 degrees. The winds are light, and the dew points in the low 60s. That'll keep falling. Those dew points are the key to how much moisture is in the air. And if it's a low number like 30s and 40s right now, it's a lot of dry air out there, and that'll start to seep towards the coast later on tonight. A few clouds, but those will clear out pretty soon. Temperatures are in the 70s to low 80s, and it's beautiful all across the Northeast. Look at Wrangley. It's in the 50s right now there. 70 in Boston, 81 in D.C. If you're traveling across the Northeast corridor this weekend, the weather looks great just about everywhere, really. Sunshine and comfortable temperatures, 70s and 80s for highs throughout. The nighttime lows in the 50s and even some 40s off to the north and west. High pressure is going to keep us nice and dry and beautiful. It will give way to some clouds and a few showers starting on Monday afternoon and evening. Low pressure, a coastal storm, is going to develop nearby on Tuesday. And that's going to swing a lot of moisture in our area Tuesday into Wednesday. New England, too, who also needs the rain because they're in drought situations as well. Clear and comfortable tonight. Look at the lows. 49 in Monticello tonight. You're up to 76 tomorrow. Great sleeping weather. Maybe you get to lift the windows just a bit to let some of that cool air in. 70s to the low to mid 80s. Slightly below average, actually, into Sunday, too. Here's our exclusive 10-day forecast. Weather is great as we look at the next 10 days. And we've got some rain coming up, yes, starting on Monday afternoon into Tuesday and Wednesday. Like John mentioned earlier, we're in drought pattern right now, so we need the rain for sure. It does dry out after Wednesday. We're back to sunshine mixed with clouds starting next Thursday with low temperatures in the low 80s. It won't get into the 90s. We're not looking at that for the next 10 days for sure, and I think you're okay with that. But it looks like a pretty dry weekend next weekend, too, with highs in the low 80s. Enjoy, everybody. Back to you, John.
Janice, we sure will. All right, in Decision 2020, it's the final countdown to round 2 of the New York primary. Early voting kicks off tomorrow. Early voting lasts 9 days. The primary is on August 23rd. All right, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Let's do this again at 11, shall we? I think Natalie Pasquarella will join us then, and we hope you will too. See you for the news at 11. New York Live is up next. Good night.
Your world, the tri-state, and farther away. Your world. News for New York. NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. Here together every night.